Alright, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of TEW Local to Global 1987. We're back with some GCW. And let's get straight into November's first Fuel. Alright, we're starting off the show with the Syndicate in the ring. And they go over the events of last night, how Brian Pillman won the championship from Steve Austin after Dustin Rhodes screwed over Austin. Well, Dustin Rhodes is fired. He was told the consequences if Austin didn't win the match. Well, now, Ventura's got to do what he's got to do. Dustin Rhodes is officially fired from Global Championship Wrestling. But also, tonight, Steve Austin gets a rematch at the World Championship. So he faces off against Brian Pillman in the main event. Once again, gets a 100. As we move on to our next contest, we've got Mortis and Wrath defeating the Headbangers, the returning Headbangers, in 5 minutes when Mortis defeated Thrasher with the Flatliner. Mortis is obviously very good in the ring. Chris Kanyon always was. But afterwards, we get Mortis, Wrath, and the Sinister Minister. They say that darkness is coming to GCW. So we're going to have to wait and see what that's all about. But let's go to our next angle. We've got Rocky Johnson backstage. He's taking care of Rocky Maivia, who is beaten and bruised after his match with Farouk last night. He did get the victory, but he was beaten down pretty badly after the match, so Rocky Johnson is taking care of his son backstage. 67. Then we have a Cruiserweight spotlight match, just to feature the new Cruiserweights of GCW, and, of course, some we already have. So Rey Mysterio is carrying this match, of course. That's why he got the victory. So Rey Mysterio, Hector Garza, and Art Barr get the victory over Grandmaster Sexay, Scotty 2 Hotty, and Super Calo. So the new Cruiserweights, Hector Garza and Super Calo, are in this match. We've signed a few new talents. So, 74. Next up, we have J.J. Dillon, and he announces that every Saturday from now on, Global Championship Wrestling will hold a new show in Japan. Every Saturday, it's an event, so it's like a house show kind of thing. Like when I was trying to expand to the Mid-South, I would do like every Saturday I would do, I think it was Mid-South Takeover, I don't remember, but anyway, now we have Shogun Saturday. That's going to be every Saturday. And this Saturday will feature a tag team match, a Brian Pillman versus Eddie Guerrero match, and I forget, but I might show you guys what's going to happen at that show. I don't know yet. It's not going to be a long card. I'll show you what happens after for sure, though. D'Lo defeats Chris Candido next with a running powerbomb, and afterwards, D'Lo Brown grabs a microphone and he challenges Diamond Dallas Page, as he just beat Chris Candido, who was in a match with DDP. Did lose, but whatever. D'Lo is next in line for the television championship, it looks like. Next up, we have Disco TV with the new champions, Disco Inferno and Mike Awesome, the new World Tag Team Champions. But Alex Wright is also there because, of course, they're a little team. Well, Alex Wright tonight challenges Eddie Guerrero to a Cruiserweight title match next week. So Eddie didn't defend the title. Eddie didn't defend the title at Halloween Hell. Well, he's going to have to defend it next week against Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright. Next up, we've got Jesse James getting a victory over Fit Finley with a pile driver. Not much to say, just trying to get Jesse James over. Mankind's in the ring celebrating his Intercontinental title win at the hands of Perry Saturn last night, and Saturn does come out, and he wants a rematch, and that's exactly what's going to happen. These two will face off once more at Championship Wrestling at the end of this month. 84. Next up, we have one of the new signings to GCW. Of course, this man will pretty much be the face of GCW Japan on Saturdays, Satoshi Kojima, and he gets the victory over Jerry Lynn in 11 minutes with a Koji Cutter. 73. Brian Pillman is backstage, and he promises to avenge Dustin Rhodes in his match tonight against Steve Austin. That match is up next. So Pillman versus Austin, get your bets in now. The world title is on the line. And once again, Steve Austin captures the World Championship after interference from Jesse Ventura. So Steve Austin is a 4-time GCW World Champion. Gets a 94, despite them not clicking, which means they're still getting good performances, which is surprising because they don't click. Anyway, Jesse Ventura did interfere in the match, which cost Brian Pillman the match, but Steve Austin, nonetheless, is once again the World Heavyweight Champion. So we have a new record for shortest GCW title reign. Brian Pillman, world title, 1 day. Congrats, Pillman. And everybody's still hostile towards us. Great. So, GCW World Championship. Austin, once again the champion. 1 day for Brian Pillman. Sorry to hear that, Pillman. That's just the way she goes. Alright, and we've got Shogun Saturday. I'm not going to show you the results directly. I will show you what happens afterwards, though. But let's get to our next Fuel show. Alright, before we get into the second Fuel of today's episode, we're going to show you what happened at Shogun Saturday. So, we had 3 matches. Great Sasuke defeated Jado. Bushido Thunder, which is the team of Satoshi Kojima and Jun Akiyama, defeated the Dynamic Dudes, which Johnny Ace was not happy about. Satoshi Kojima cut a promo afterwards, and he is excited because he's going for the GCW Japan Heavyweight Championship, which is this week, Saturday week 2. And I guess I'll show you what happens. I'll show you the results. Pillman defeated Eddie Guerrero in the main event with an 86. It was a 35-minute match. Cruiserweight title not on the line. But yeah, Pillman gets the victory. Good match. So let's get into Fuel. So starting us off, we've got the Syndicate cutting a promo. They got a celebration. And Johnny Valiant rolls out a big cake for Austin. A huge cake. And the Big Show is obviously very happy about that. I mean... Anyway. And, you know, they're talking and Austin says they're the best and whatever. And Brian Pillman gets out of the cake. He was in the cake and he attacks Austin. He beats him down. Hits him with the title. Everybody beats him down. And yeah. 100. Let's move on to our next. Oh, this did not do good. El Samurai versus Johnny Swinger is up next. 247. El Samurai gets the victory with a Samurai Bomb. Yeah, El Samurai is signing for GCW Japan. And Johnny Swinger is a jobber. So I guess this didn't really work, but whatever. DDP is up next. He's cutting a promo, and he accepts D'Lo Brown's challenge. They're going to be facing off for the television championship next week. So it gets an 84. Next up, we've got Mortis versus Rockabilly, and Mortis gets the victory with a flatliner. Afterwards, Mortis and Wrath beat down Rockabilly, and Mark Merrow makes the save for the former Billy Gunn. Marcus Bagwell versus Mike Enos is up next, and Bagwell gets the victory in 138 with a blockbuster. 67 for Bagwell, 35 for Mike Enos, gets a 57. Next up, we've got Rocky Johnson coming out to the ring, and he says, Farouk, you beat down my boy, well now I'm going to beat you down. Farouk, I want you in a one-on-one match. And Farouk comes out, and he agrees. So we're going to get Rocky Johnson versus Farouk at Championship Wrestling. Johnson coming out of retirement just to face off against Farouk Assad. So 65. Kevin Nash versus Kama Mustafa is up next, and Nash gets the victory over Mustafa in 820 with the jackknife powerbomb. Nash with the 73, Mustafa with a 56, a 67. And we're backstage. Ken Shamrock and Big Show have taken Al Snow hostage, and they're beating the shit out of him for making them lose their World Tag Team Championships to Disco Inferno and Mike Awesome. Akira Nogami versus Lance Storm is up next. Nogami, another signing for the GCW expansion to Japan. Lance Storm gets the victory over Nogami in 737 with a Canadian Maple Leaf. This did a lot better. Nogami's also in the Cruiserweight division, by the way, so 56 for Nogami, 76 for Lance Storm, gets a 74. Disco TV. Harlem Heat come out, and they challenge Disco and Mike Awesome. So it looks like Harlem Heat are next in line for the World Tag Team Championships against Disco and Mike Awesome. 72. Up next, we've got the Cruiserweight title match, Alex Wright versus Eddie Guerrero. And in a shocking turn of events, Alex Wright defeats Eddie Guerrero in 9:48 with a fast roll-up after Chavo Guerrero interfered. I put it in the match, but it for some reason didn't come through, but we'll say it happened. Chavo comes down, tries to hit Alex Wright, accidentally hits Eddie Guerrero, and this results in Alex Wright being able to hit the neck breaker and get the pinfall over Eddie Guerrero. So we have a new Cruiserweight champion on GCW Fuel, and it's Alex Wright. Next up, we have the Flock in the ring. They all cut up. Perry Saturn cuts a promo on Mankind. Mick Foley's a damaged individual, and he's going to suffer more damage, shit like that. And they all bow at the end, except for Billy Kidman. Kidman refuses to bow to Perry Saturn, so they all beat him down, and Mankind comes out, makes the save, and Kidman kind of shoves him away at the end and just walks to the back. Maybe he didn't want the help, is what we're trying to get at. 78. And our main event didn't do quite as good as I wanted to, probably because Satoshi Kojima isn't over in the United States. But Satoshi Kojima gets the victory over Chris Candido in 15 minutes with an Emerald Flosion in the main event. Gets a 70, ends the show with an 81, could have been worse. We're trying to push Satoshi Kojima, right? And let's see. Lance Storm relocates, Rocky Johnson relocates, 2.28. Alright, so now we're going to show you the results of Shogun Saturday, because why the hell not? Let's go to it right now. Alright, GCW Shogun Saturday, let's get straight into it. First up, we've got Akira Nogami getting a victory over Norio Honaga with 15 minutes 24 with a Musa Sabi press. Honaga with a 54, Nogami with an 84. Honaga's a one-night hiring just because I needed someone to lose to Akira Nogami because I don't have a lot of stars for the Japan show. So, 82. Next up, we've got Jun Akiyama versus Akira Tao. And Akira gets the victory over Jun Akiyama in 15-13 with a Nodawa Otoshi. I'm very sorry if I'm butchering these names. I don't speak Japanese at all. So 82, which will lead us to our main event, the final match of tonight. We have Satoshi Kojima facing off against Genichiro Tenryu for the GCW Japan Heavyweight Championship. 94, Kojima defeats Tenryu in 1959 with a Koji Cutter, and our new first ever GCW Japan Heavyweight Champion is none other than Satoshi Kojima. And he ends the show by celebrating. Gets a 90, improving our popularity in 24 regions. Alright, got a 2.74. By the way, for the Shogun Saturday shows, I'm promoting them on ITV and Telemundo. ITV's for the British Isles. Telemundo, if we look at it, has broadcast in the United States, in Mexico, France, Italy, and Iberia and Southeast Europe, which means that we're also growing popularity in Mexico and in these regions as well, in France, Italy, Southeast Europe, and Iberia. The reason why I expanded to Japan now is because I actually bought out a promotion. I didn't mention it, but I did buy out Empro for $600,000, I think. I felt it was the right time to try to expand to Japan, as there's no competition really, and the industry's at 94, so might as well. What's the American industry at? Okay, still good. So here you have it. The first ever GCW Japan Heavyweight Champion is Satoshi Kojima. So thank you guys for watching this episode of GCW. Make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe if you want more, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.